Welcome. You're right where you belong. Eugenia and I have been friends for 28 years, and while life phases and stages, racking up titles and all the etceteras in life keep us busy, we are intentional about keeping each other centered and committed, and to picking up right where we left off. After all, it's our life support. Welcome back. In today's episode, we're tackling something that hits home for so many entrepreneurs and small business owners. How do you stay emotionally present for your family while building your business? As business owners, we know the hustle, the late nights, the endless to-do list, and the constant chase for growth. But what happens when the demands of our business start to pull us away from what matters most at home? How do you balance being a passionate entrepreneur with being an engaged spouse, parent, and friend? Today, we're going to dig into the emotional side of being a business owner, how to show up fully for your loved ones without sacrificing the dreams you're working so hard to build. Because let's face it, success isn't just about what you achieve at work. It's also about how you build relationships that keep you grounded and those that are essentially a part of your why. So grab a cup of coffee or tea or water, and let's talk about creating space for both business and people who matter most. Speaking of people who matter most, Eugenia, how was your week?
My week has been pretty good. 4th of July just passed, and although we didn't really get to do much, it was nice to have my husband home and just spend some quality time, at the house. We had some barbecue, which I probably should not have been eating, but that
Barbecue is delicious.
oh, that was nice to have. But I'm like, oh, so yeah, and it's just the regular, degular, smegular things, just, swim lessons and summer programs and just the, regular weekly things. So how's your week been?
It's been good. It had a lot of regular schmegular in there,
Mm-hmm.
but then it just became chaotic. It was again a heavy travel week, and we were stuck at MCO. I didn't get home until 3 o'clock in the morning. Our flight was changed 6 times
No way.
because the weather was so bad in Atlanta and like surrounding airports. So they closed the airports down and they weren't doing any outbound flights or accepting any inbound. So it just was drama. Like it was crazy, girl. But we made it home. By the time we
Yes,
reached
right.
Hartsfield, it was dark. There was like 6 workers, okay? Like it was crazy town. They turned the lights off. They said it's time to save this electricity bill, and yeah, it was crazy. But we made it, and I was so happy to be home. My daughter had a national competition and she didn't win. She did get gold, but she just didn't make the finalist panel, which is still great, you know, because she's competing against like 7,000 other students.
Oh,
But she's kind of slightly a little bit of a perfectionist like her mom. So she was definitely like, that is not enough. But,
yeah.
you have to celebrate the progress. So finished that, came back home, and now we're into the swing of things. The emails from school have started for back to school. So now we're getting into the regular. So it's been okay. I've survived it.
Yeah,
So that's what matters.
definitely. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I had a really busy week. The juggle between business and family is real. Many entrepreneurs struggle to be emotionally present at home because they're always on at work. So there can tend to be an emotional disconnect that can affect family, relationships, even business performance. So in relationships, when you're emotionally checked out, your partner may feel like they're living with the ghost, so to speak. Conversations become shallow, intimacy fades, conflict becomes more frequent or totally avoided. Even if you're physically present, Emotional absence can lead to misunderstandings, resentment, and feeling unsupported on both sides. So, Alexis, how do you feel about emotional disconnect in regards to relationships?
I think that it's real. I think when you are both on your success journey career wise, it can just be a struggle, and you have to be intentional about staying on track. And I think for some, that's hard because I feel like pride gets in the way, ego gets in the way. You're still trying to figure out who's going to go 90 and who's going to go 10 when it should be 100, 100. And then sometimes it's 50-50. It just can be very complicated. I know for me personally, it is a serious struggle. And I am still navigating how to be fully present when feeling burnt out. You know, I think it's tough. I think it's definitely important. Um, but I am definitely not a guru on that topic because it's just a little bit more complicated than, let's say, maybe the dynamic with your children.
Right. It's like you kind of just have to learn as you go type situation. As far as family dynamics, like as a parent, emotional disconnect can make you like short tempered, distracted, less tuned into your kids' needs or their milestones. It makes you more reactive than responsive. And children may internalize that as like something's wrong with me, right? Or they may mimic the same disconnect in their own emotional development. How do you feel in regards to family dynamics?
So I think everything you said is correct. Again, intentionality is always going to win the game. I
Mhm.
feel like it takes split seconds to change the direction of feelings, and being careful, I would say, with your words and making sure that you are being conscious of speaking life, I think makes a big difference in the busy times. I definitely feel like for me, when I'm busy, the kids understand that. I
Mhm.
think also communicating when my fuse is short or I have deadlines I have to meet, and also affirming that you are still extremely valuable to me. I need to finish this portion and I'm going to circle back because I'm always going to circle back. And that's one thing that they do know. And that's one thing that I feel like adds value to keeping our foundation tight is keeping the open lines of communication and separating their time in those pivotal moments and not just speaking off the fly. Like I really do think before I act and before I speak. Now, a lot of times you can have a short fuse, which I think I have been guilty of that. But I often try to pause for a second. I would say that's one thing that I learned earlier on as a child to make sure that you take that moment.
Right.
I did definitely have to go through anger management. So that taught me to settle down,
Yeah,
process things. People think I have the patience of Job, but it's really a practice technique, and it's just really being intentional. So taking those moments, you're going to miss it, but as long as you come back and acknowledge, missing it and really try to build healthier habits going forward in how you conduct yourself in crunch times, I think really is the solution.
definitely, definitely. I'm in that stage right now where, like you said, I have to pause, take a breath, and then communicate to my children, hey, mommy needs some personal time. I'm working on something right now, but as soon as I get done, you and I can play a game or do whatever it is that you want me to do. So, yeah, that's the stage that I'm in right now. So,
Sure.
As far as business performance is concerned, your business reflects your energy. Emotional disconnection can kill creativity and momentum. It can cause burnout to sneak up faster, lead to inconsistent content, delayed launches, and missed opportunities. People feel when you're not there, like they can feel that energy. So when you're disconnected emotionally, you might go through the motions, but never hit your stride. So it tends to become a cycle, right? So when business gets overwhelming, you shut down emotionally to survive. But that disconnect spills into your home life, causing tension. That tension then bleeds back into your work, feeding the cycle of stress, guilt, and underperformance. How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's tea. I feel like that's really it's just the struggle and it's life. I keep saying intentionality, but that really is the only way to survive.
Definitely. Yeah.
I definitely think it's very easy and it's a slippery slope to get to a place where tensions are high. You know, when you live a demanding life and you're pulled in so many directions, you can feel like you're out of straws. Like this is just a lot, but you're still expected to perform,
Right.
you know? And so I think we mentioned it before, but I really kind of try to treat a lot of my business tasks that I need to handle that are on a daily basis, like I am going into a storefront, just so that I have that dedicated time to do the things that I need to do. And so that everyone is aware that those times, if you come in, you know, during those times, just know those are like high waters, you know.
Yeah.
So if it's like, you know, 2 to 4, I'm in my zone. So let's kind of like
Right.
revisit outside of the zone. I think that helps. But yeah, I mean, I agree with all of that.
So the truth is, you can't compartmentalize emotion forever. The more disconnected you are from your emotions, the more disconnected you'll be from your relationships, your audience, your why, and even yourself. Healing that disconnection through rest, therapy, support, prayer, or even just being honest with yourself doesn't just help you feel better, it makes you a better partner, a more present parent, and a stronger entrepreneur.
Absolutely. There's so many costs with being the boss. The emotional costs are always going to be a big ticket item. There's so much energy that goes into being an entrepreneur and owning a business that include the burnout, the stress, and the feeling of never being off. It's the emotional absence when it comes to your family, but also sometimes in your life as a whole, because you are experiencing isolation. You're not always available for outings. It can be a lonely, you know, journey. It's also the danger of overcommitting to the business that
Mhm.
jeopardizes a lot of relationships and really kind of infringes on just normal life and experiencing life when you're building it.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're an entrepreneur, it's like it takes a lot of your energy because you're the CEO, the customer service rep, the content creator, fulfillment team, and then you're often still trying to be fully present in your home and in relationships. So that's definitely when the burnout creeps in. It's like the constant pressure to perform, to produce, to show up, even when you're tired, when you're uninspired, or like you're silently struggling. I truly believe the emotional tax is not as high when you're able to quickly identify when you are checked out. So there are definitely some signs that you're emotionally distant, like snapping at family or getting easily frustrated if you're not listening, feeling distracted even when you're at home. So tension builds in the quiet moments, right? When you're emotionally unavailable, conversations feel surface level or rushed. Family members stop sharing because they sense you're distracted. There's small issues that get blown up because the emotional connection isn't strong enough to handle the weight. You may start hearing things like, you're always on your phone, you don't listen, you're here, but you're not really here. So that tension doesn't come from conflict, it comes from disconnection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel it's also so important to set boundaries between work and family time, creating mental and physical boundaries between work and home life, such as not checking emails at the dinner table, setting the office hours, and having hard stops are amazing efforts towards those healthy boundaries. It is tough but vital to turn off the business brain when you walk through the door or close the laptop. Business will always be there. That's something that I think every business owner needs to remind themselves
Yeah.
of. It's going to be there. It's not going anywhere. It's not leaving. But you won't always be able to relive special moments with your family. And that is something that is just so dear, so precious, so important. And you just can't get a do-over.
Yeah.
I like to create little mini dates. It's great to say, hey, it's Friday. So now I'm going to make sure that Friday carpool, we go get some breakfast and take the long route to school. While we're doing simple things, it just gives time for us to talk, for us to connect, for us to laugh and everything, not be so serious, to eat. Everybody loves to eat.
Yeah.
And just gives us a moment to really just be with one another uninterrupted, but it does not infringe on what I need to do during the day, if that makes sense, business wise. So I just like to try to carve out little times like that. If it's before picking up the youngest, let's go and grab a bite so we can talk, or let's go and catch up on emails together. So it's a togetherness technique. So I think little things like that, I think as humans, we feel like we have to do things on a grand scale,
Mhm.
and it's not necessary when you're just trying to connect. So choosing those pockets and making those pockets just as serious as business meetings and consults, because you wouldn't miss that. Penciling that in your schedule as a never miss matters most.
Yeah.
In order to successfully achieve this, you have to make sure that you are on the same page with you. Taking care of your emotional well being first, so you have the energy to take care of home. Self care routines, which we spoke about before, are your best efforts to create emotional availability. Mindfulness, exercises, hobbies that recharge you and help you feel fueled so that you can be able to fight for your family and for that connection. Self awareness and emotional regulation is super important and can help you remain calm and connected at all times.
Yes. I agree with all of that.
I have also found vulnerability to be a powerful tool on this business and family journey. I have often discussed challenges I'm facing in business, and it opens doors for open share, which fosters a deeper connection with all of my family members. With my kids, sharing wins and struggles have definitely led to deeper empathy and understanding of my being and all that I'm trying to accomplish. So, with that, they don't take certain things as personally as they would because they understand. Just as I share, checking in with them has been so important and a vital pillar in keeping our foundation full. Openness is currency in our emotional wealth.
I realized that it's not always about the amount of time that you spend, but more so of the quality of the time. So I like to create mini traditions, so to speak, even if it's something as simple as dinner theme nights, like the Taco Tuesdays or the Pizza Fridays, I like to do. We'll have like a movie night or game night. I'll read a book and do prayer time, like every night with my littles before bed. Also, I like to do weekly check ins with my team. The teens always got something going on. You got to stay in the loop. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
is something my husband and I both like to enjoy. We like to just catch up on our shows and binge watch, you know, the TV shows or that we like to watch. And these little rituals give everyone something to look forward to, no matter how busy life gets. Alexis, are there little mini rituals that you implement in your household?
All of that. So definitely do, as I mentioned before, the Friday date. Usually they take the bus to school, but on Fridays, everyone loads up in the car and we take the long route. We get breakfast out, coffee, whatever, laugh, shake sprinkles from donuts, and just have a good time.
Yeah.
We definitely do the movie nights and binge watch shows. I have a show with each of my family members that they enjoy.
Oh,
So
wow.
we read books together,
Yes.
and kind of have like our little Oprah book club meeting,
Nice.
cook together, just really try to find ways to together,
Right. Yeah.
and I do make sure to schedule it, you
Yeah.
know,
I love that.
regularly.
Small gestures that can make a big difference are like saying no to work distractions when spending time with your loved ones. Another initiative towards being available is involving the family in your business journey. Choosing to share your vision and celebrating milestones together and encouraging open conversations about the business with your spouse or kids help them to understand the why behind your hustle. This helps them feel included, supported, and less disconnected from your work.
Absolutely. There's importance in having a support system at home to help balance business and personal life. Dividing those responsibilities at home free up time and emotional space. Outside of the home, there is incredible value in delegating, if you're able, so that you can be more present at home. In that, you win in business and at home.
Yes. As entrepreneurs, it's easy to get caught up in the grind, constantly chasing the next goal, the next win. But at the end of the day, the people waiting for us at home are the ones who cheer us on when no one else sees the struggle. They matter just as much as the business we're building. Emotional availability isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. It's about choosing to pause, listen, and connect. I hope today inspires you to be available for the tea and prioritize those that matter just as much as you value your business goals. Until next time, bye.
Bye. If this episode inspired you, we'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. Slide into our DMs on Instagram at @thelifesupport_.
If you haven't yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a Power Hour pep talk. And leave a comment. It helps other mamas find us and transforms one mom's hustle into all of our community boosts.